by honoring the forebearers of this beautiful, wonderful, revolutionary land. Allow me to pay tribute to Basavanna for his radical work in bringing humanity to the otherwise oppressed and those who are oppressing. Also, I want to mention the great king of Mysore, Nalavadi Krishnaraj Vadiyar, for bringing the reservation to those who were actually in need. The many people, B. Krishnappa, D. Shamasundar, one of Baba Sahab's strongest Karnataka's associates, who also edited Jai Bhim magazine. He worked in the Bidar region. There's a book out on him many years ago. His followers are still around. Who also worked with Nizam and probably would have been the first among our community. This is also for our sister Ashwini here, to represent India, or rather Nizam, to the United Nations. Bijam Sundar had that opportunity, and now our sister Ashwini is taking that flag there. I also would like to mention the revolutionary V.T. Rajashekar for his powerful voice. He came from the Band community. The Bands are Shettis, and he had a strong belief in eradicating the suffering of the poor and those who are marginalized and oppressed by caste. I also want to thank the Chief Minister, Siddaramaiah, for his, this is the second time he has done. Amit, come, Amit is also there, my friend, outside. Siddaramaiah ji, when he was the Chief Minister first time, he brought the conference on Baba Saheb Ambedkar. And then there was a BJP government, there was no Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Now there is Siddaramaiah, now there is Baba Saheb Ambedkar. It is because of the great Constitution of India. Baba Saheb is one of the chief architects of contemporary Constitution. But there were many other people who participated into making, by offering their deliberations, by offering their criticisms. It was a work of commonly held people who were representing different communities. Most of them, India by then was barely 18 to 19% literate. So the people who were representing the aspirations into the Constituent Assembly, most of them came from those backgrounds. And when we study Constitution Assembly debates, we witness the enormous pains Baba Saheb underwent. We have to place the Constitution into a context, and I would like to credit my friend Mangesh Devali. He brought that in my critique and discussion of that. Baba Saheb was suffering immensely physically. He had blood. He had sugar, and the blood pressure would go up and down. And yet he put his extra hours. He put so much so that would make him further sick. Drafting India's constitution and giving it to the country was both physical as well as mental labor that really put Baba Saheb's health to peril. And yet, this patriot of a first class standard, did not pay attention to his ill health, but wanted to guide and give direction to the several generations who would come after him. And that's how the toil, the mind, the blood, the pain, the suffering of Baba Saheb Ambedkar is visible in current Constitution of India. And that is why the India's Bahujans celebrate it, because for them it is not only a document, it is a document of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Baba Saheb Ambedkar was somebody who wrote that. He just did not sit and write and deliberate, but he also brought his legal acumen into this. And not only that, he was writing that for his own community people. And when he say his community people, his community was India. He was writing for the nation. And when Baba Saheb Ambedkar went on drafting this, many many a times we have to ask questions. What does this constitution mean to us in our contemporary times? Why is only the scheduled caste community so devotedly upholding the Constitution of India? It is only the scheduled caste community of India that has the preamble in their houses. They have constitution in their houses. They celebrate this as one of their most important documents. No other community I have come across yet that praises and worships the Indian Constitution as much as the scheduled caste of India. And therefore, when we talk about the value of Constitution of India, the life it gives to the Indian Republic, it is those scheduled caste across India who have made sure that Constitution becomes the mainstream dialogue of running a country. And this view is now transcending into many other communities. Now, Constitution is central to whatever we debate. It has become an important political interlocution. People now are debating about what Constitution means. But now we have to also ask questions. If Constitution is meant to provide us those rights, and we have to understand Constitution, many legal theorists, many people who are political philosophers, many people coming from the economic background, many people are politicians who think about India's Constitution, they think of it as an aspect of procedural democracy. When they look at Constitution, they look at it as an enumerative process that gives direction to the state on how to run the affairs. But there is also an ethical dimension of Constitution. And that ethical dimension is upholded by those who understand wherever there is no morality, we have to put ethics and value together. In an absence of a loss of morality,